And now I would like to present Noam Chomsky.
Thanks. The most recent article of Naseer's that I've seen, I hope this surprises him, was a few weeks ago. An article in which I read as being sort of an account of work in progress and an outline of future projects to be undertaken, which are of immense significance. In the article, Naseer began with typically incisive analysis of the the Oslo process of the last couple of years, explaining lucidly, expanding on things he's written before, which unfortunately not enough people paid attention to, of how the built-in properties of it were almost with logical necessity going to lead to very ugly outcomes, which have been happening ever since and are now more and more apparent. But then he went on, and the bulk of the article was devoted to something else, namely constructive alternatives. These constructive alternatives, well, for what it's worth, I think both are right on track. In fact, I've always thought so. This is the moment when I could give a speech, but I'm not going to, so don't worry about it some other time. But I think that the account is exactly right, that what has to be done is to dismantle the set of ideas which were formulated as a totally inconceivable two-state settlement, which would have been a rotten outcome for everybody and was never going to happen anyway because of the balance of forces in the international situation, and to recognize that a settlement has to be based on ideas which in fact of coexistence and justice and equality and democracy and interaction actually throughout the region, not only in the former Palestine. Ideas which actually, as Naseer points out, have deep roots, often forgotten, but quite real, in the separate traditions of the conflicting parties, and in fact are even more deeply rooted in the principles to which almost everyone pays at least lip service, namely the ones articulated and codified in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which remains a very distant goal even as we approach its 50th anniversary in a few months. One might argue maybe even a receding goal, in any event, certainly distant. Well, all of these are causes to which Naseer has dedicated himself for many years and made highly valued contributions to. The rewards of retirement are sure to be great for Naseer, his family, and many others. Not the least of these rewards, I expect with confidence, will be the opportunity that he is now afforded to dedicate himself even more fully and more energetically and to these goals, to turning them into helping bring them closer to reality. That's a prospect that I personally look forward to seeing develop and participating in as I can over the years. And all I can say is that I wish him and his family the greatest pleasure and success in the wonderful years that I'm sure lie ahead.